Okay, students, I am Samatha, lecturer in chemistry, JDC Women Hussaini Alam. Okay, students, in last class we have discussed that bioinorganic chemistry. Okay, we have discussed that some of the essential elements we have completed. Okay, let us discuss remaining essential elements. Okay, in that the next element is copper. Okay, the sources of copper is nuts, liver, fish and cow milk. Okay, these are the main sources of copper element. Okay, the copper requirement to our body is in adults 2.5 mg per day. Okay, in adults, the quantity of copper required is 2.5 mg per day. In infants and children, 0.5 mg per day is required. Okay, this is the requirement of copper element. Next, function of copper element is it is essential constituents of many proteins, metalloenzymes, and some natural occurring pigments. Okay, this copper is the essential constituent in some of the natural pigments, and it is also essential for formation of hemoglobin and normal bone formation. Also copper is required. The hemoglobin is a copper protein complex which is present in blood of certain invertebrates and function as like a hemoglobin. Okay, and here hemoglobin is having one protein complex, that protein complex is required copper element. Okay, these are the functions of copper element. And deficiency of copper is deficiency effect of copper has never been positively demonstrated, but it has been suspected in case of spores or in nephrosis. Okay, this is the deficiency causes some of the spores in nephrosis. Okay, means it is some urinary tract infection like that. Okay, that is the deficiency of copper causes and spores in or in nephrosis. Okay, this is the sources, requirement and function deficiency of copper element. Okay, next element is phosphorus. Phosphorus source is it is present nearly all foods. Okay, all food items, mostly all food items are having phosphorus. Okay, the requirement of phosphorus is 1 to 1.5 gram per day. Okay, in all human beings the requirement of phosphorus is 1 to 1.5 grams per day. Function, it is found in every cell of body. Okay, what is the function of phosphorus here? That phosphorus is present in every cell of the body, and it is present combined with calcium in the bones and teeth. Okay guys, phosphorus is present combined with the calcium. Okay, now in the form of calcium phosphate, phosphorus is present with the calcium in formation of bones and teeth also. Okay, about 80% of phosphorus is present in our bones and teeth. Okay, along with copper in the formation of copper phosphate. And it is required for phosphorylation associated with energy obtained metabolic reactions. Okay, and this phosphorus is also useful in metabolic reactions also. Okay, these are the functions of phosphorus. And deficiency of phosphorus may causes phosphorus deficiency leads to poor mineralization of bones and teeth, causes osteomalacia and poor growth. Okay, this is also osteomalacia means this is the related to bones disease, means weakness of bones. So here phosphorus deficiency leads to the poor mineralization of bones and teeth. Okay na, and it is also causes osteomalacia mm, and poor growth of bones and teeth also. Okay na, mainly phosphorus is used in formation of bones and teeth, so deficiency of phosphorus automatically may causes a weak growth of or poor growth of bones and teeth. Okay, next element is magnesium. Sources of magnesium is it is present in cocoa virus, various nuts, soya bean and seafoods. Okay, magnesium mainly mainly present in various nuts, soya bean and seafoods also. It also present in beans, peas also in small quantity. Okay, some of the beans and peas also having magnesium. Okay, these are the sources of magnesium element. And requirement, it need a few about 300 mg per day for adult women and 350 mg per day for adult men. Okay, here the requirement of magnesium is 300 mg per day is for adult women and 350 mg per day is for adult men. Okay, this is the requirement of magnesium per day. Okay, 300 mg in women and 350 mg in men. Okay, next function of magnesium. The body contains about 21 mg of magnesium. 70% combined with calcium and phosphorus is complex salt of bones. Okay, here along with the calcium and phosphorus, magnesium also present in formation of bones. Okay, now the body contains about 21 mg of magnesium. Okay, that means 70% magnesium is combined with calcium and phosphorus and useful in formation of bones. Mg plus 2 ion is one of essential cation of soft tissue. Okay, and Mg plus 2 ion is the essential cation in soft tissues also. In muscles and other tissue, intracellular Mg plus 2 ions probably functions as activators of phosphate group transfer enzyme. Okay, here Mg plus 2 cations are act as a activators of phosphate group transfer enzyme reactions also. Okay, these are the functions of magnesium. Okay, mainly 70% of the magnesium is useful in formation of bones and teeth along with calcium and phosphorus. And Mg plus 2 ion is useful in soft tissues also, and Mg plus 2 ion is act as a activator in some of the enzymes. Next is deficiency in case of mainly neuromuscular dysfunctioning. Okay, deficiency of magnesium may causes muscular dysfunctioning. Okay, next is zinc. The source of zinc is the main source of zinc is meats, liver, eggs, seafood, milk and whole grains. Okay, these are the sources of zinc. Okay, what are they? Meats, liver, eggs, seafood, milk and whole grains. Okay, these are the these food items are rich in zinc. Next requirement of zinc is in adults 15 mg per day is required. Okay, how much zinc is required in adult human being? 15 mg per day zinc is required. In females during pregnancy or during lactation period 10 to 12 mg per day is required. Okay, this is the requirement of zinc in human beings. Next function of zinc is it is essential for normal growth, mm, and it is essential for tissue repairing and wound healing also. Okay, now mainly zinc is useful for normal growth, and it is also essential for tissue repairing. Tissue repairing means if we are having any wounds, that wound is repaired by the zinc. Okay, that process is called as healing. Okay, healing of wound is possible for zinc only. So it is essential for tissue repairing and wound healing also, and it is essential components of enzymes present in human body. Okay, and zinc is also essential element for enzymes also, such as alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme and phosphatase carbonic anhydrase enzyme. Okay, these enzymes are having essential element as zinc, and it is maintain normal concentration of vitamin A in plasma. Okay, this zinc element is maintains the concentration of vitamin A. The function of insulin is also regulate with zinc. Okay, because here the insulin is also having zinc element, so the function of insulin is also regulated by the zinc element. So these all are the functions of zinc element. Okay, first is zinc is useful in normal growth, and it is useful in tissue repairing and wound healing, and it is also essential element in some of the enzymes, and it is regulates the concentration of vitamin A, and the main function is it regulates the function of insulin also. Okay, these are the functions of zinc element. Okay, next is cobalt. This element constitutes vitamin B12, which is necessary for normal RBC formation. Okay, here cobalt is the central metal atom. This is present in vitamin B12. Okay, that is cyanocobalamin. That vitamin B12 is having central metal atom is cobalt. So this element constitutes vitamin B12, which is necessary for normal RBC formation. Okay, cobalt is present in vitamin B12, and that vitamin B12 is necessary for the RBC formation. Okay, RBC means what? Red blood cells. Okay, red blood cells formation is occurred by vitamin B12. Next is source of cobalt. It is found in liver, kidney and bones. Okay, the sources of cobalt is what? Liver, kidney and bones. Next function of cobalt is it is main constituent of vitamin B12. Okay, already we have discussed it that in vitamin B12 the central metal atom is a cobalt. So the main element or main component is cobalt in vitamin B12, and it is required for enzyme activity included methyl malonyl enzyme and coenzyme A, maltose, oxidoreductase, homocysteine, ribonucleotide reductase enzymes. Okay, and this cobalt is regulates some of the enzyme functions. Okay, those are the methyl malonyl enzyme and coenzyme A, and oxidoreductase enzyme and ribonucleotide reductase enzyme. Okay, these enzymes or activity is these enzymes are required cobalt for their activity. Okay, this is the sources and function of cobalt metal or cobalt element. Okay guys, next element is sulfur. It is present in cell protein along with amino acids, and it is also present along with coenzyme A and liponic acid. Okay, this sulfur metal is present in cell protein. Okay, cell protein means it is present along with the amino acid, and it is also present along with the coenzyme A and liponic acid. Next function of sulfur is it participates in the structure of insulin and many more proteins also. Okay, sulfur element is present in structure of insulin and some of the protein structure also, having sulfur atom. Specific sulfhydryl groups of crystalline residues in some enzyme molecules are essential for catalytic activity. Okay, some of the sulfur compounds also or sulfur residues are essential for the catalytic activity of enzymes. Okay, it play important role to formulate of acetyl coenzyme A and S acetyl lipotate. Okay, this sulfur plays an important role to formulate of acetyl coenzyme A and acetyl coenzyme S and acetyl lipotate. Okay, these enzymes are having sulfur in their activities. Okay, it play important role to formulate of acetyl coenzymes and acetyl lipotate. And next is iodine. The sources of iodine is it is found in traces of iodine in case of water, food, common salt, seafood, and iodized salt. Okay, iodine is present in which water, food, and common salt, seafood, and iodized salt also having iodine. Okay, the requirement of iodine is in adults 100 to 150 micrograms per day. Okay, the requirement of iodine is what? 0.001 mg per day. And function of iodine is it is well required for the biosynthesis of iodinated heroid and hormones such as T3 triiodothyronine and T4 tetraiodothyronine and T5 pentaiodothyronine. Okay, these are the functions of iodine. Okay, mainly this iodine is required for the biosynthesis of some iodinated enzymes. Okay, and hormones. So this iodine is useful in function of hormones such as T3, T4 and T5 hormones. And deficiency of iodine causes thyroid hypertrophy. Okay, deficiency of iodine may causes thyroid defects. Okay, that is called as thyroid hypertrophy. Okay, and next the last element is chlorine. Okay, chlorine intake in diet as sodium chloride. Okay, what is the intake of chlorine? That is sodium chloride, means NaCl, that is normal salt which we are using in our daily life. Okay, in cooking, that normal salt is having chlorine, so the intake of chlorine is through the diet as a sodium chloride. And function of chlorine is, the chloride ion is essential in water balance and osmotic pressure regulation. Okay, mainly chlorine is essential for the osmotic pressure regulation, and it maintain acid phase equilibrium. The chloride plays a special role in the blood by the action of chloride shift. Okay, and this chlorine is also useful in uh, blood function also. Okay, as a chloride shift. In gastric juice, chloride shows special importance in the production of HCl. Okay, in digestion system also chlorine is shows some of the important role. Okay, that is, production of HCl is also required chlorine. Okay, hydrochloric acid production is also required chlorine. So chlorine is plays an important role in gastric juice production. Okay, that is HCl production. Next, deficiency of chlorine. We know that loss of sodium, as in diarrhea. Okay, due to the deficiency, when we are getting deficiency of chlorine in the situation of diarrhea and profuse sitting and certain endocrine disturbance, chloride elicit is likewise observed in loss of gastric juice by vomiting or by duodenal obstruction. There is a loss of chloride ion with sodium leads to decrease the plasma chloride, and it increase bicarbonate concentration resulting hypochloromic alkalosis. Okay, these are the deficiency. Okay, main deficiency is what, when we are getting chlorine deficiency, when we are suffering with diarrhea or any vomitings, due to that vomitings we lost the chlorine. And in the situation of diarrhea also, we supposed to lose chlorine. Okay, that is the deficiency situations. Okay, students, this is about essential elements in biological systems. Okay, once again, we will discuss briefly. Okay, today's elements, or first element is copper. Okay, copper sources is nuts, liver, fish, cow milk, etc. are the sources of copper. And requirement of copper is in adults 2.5 mg per day and children 0.5 mg per day. And function of copper is what? This is essential element of many proteins and enzymes and some of the pigments also. And it is also essential for the formation of hemoglobin also, because hemoglobin is having globin protein. In that protein formation, copper is required. And deficiency causes some of the spores and nephrosis. And next element is phosphorus. Sources of phosphorus is, it is present nearly all foods. Okay, all foods are having phosphorus. The requirement of phosphorus is 1 to 1.5 gram per day. Okay, for all. And function of phosphorus is, this phosphorus is present in almost every cell in the body, and it is combined with calcium as a calcium phosphate, and participates in formation of bones and teeth. and it is required for phosphorylation associated with energy obtained metabolic reactions. Deficiency of phosphorus causes poor mineralization of bones and teeth. And magnesium, sources of magnesium is various nuts, soya beans, seafoods, and peas, etc. Requirement of magnesium is 300 mg per day for women and 350 mg per day for men. Function of magnesium is also this magnesium is also required in the formation of bones and teeth along with calcium and phosphorus, and Mg plus 2 ion is essential for the formation of soft tissue also and muscle formation also. So that deficiency is also causes some of the muscular disturbances. And next element is zinc. The main source of zinc is meat's liver, egg, seafoods, milk, whole grains. Okay, these are the sources of zinc. And requirement of zinc is in adults 15 mg per day, in females during pregnancy 10 to 12 mg per day is required. And function of zinc is essential for the normal growth, and it is also essential for tissue repairing and wound healing also. And this zinc is present in insulin and regulates the function of insulin also. And it maintains the concentration of vitamin A in plasma also. Okay, this is the function of zinc. And next is cobalt. This cobalt is present in central metal atom in vitamin B12. This vitamin B12 is responsible for synthesis of or formation of red blood cells. So this cobalt sources is liver, kidney and bones. Function of cobalt is what? This is the main component in vitamin B12, and it regulates the some enzyme functions also. And next is sulfur. It is present in cell protein along with amino acids. It is also present along with coenzyme A also. And function of sulfur is participates in for structure of insulin and many proteins structure also sulfur is required. And specific sulfonic groups or sulfonic residues are regulates the enzyme functions also. And next is iodine. Sources of iodine is it is also found in traces of iodine in case of water, seafood and iodized salt also. Okay, the requirement of iodine is 0.01001 mg per day. Function of iodine is it is required for the some hormone functions like T3, T4, D5 hormones. And deficiency of iodine may causes thyroid problems, that is thyroid hypertrophy. Okay, these are the deficiency of iodine. And next is chlorine. Okay, chlorine is present in our daily using normal salt NaCl, and the function of chlorine is essential for the balancing the osmotic pressure in our body, and it maintains the equilibrium and blood functions also. And this chlorine is used in gastric juice production also, that is HCl hydrochloric acid production also. And the deficiency means here we know that loss of sodium in the time of diarrhea, in that time only we get that deficiency of chlorine. And sometimes we are getting any gastric juice, we loss of any gastric juice by vomiting, in that situation only we will get that deficiency of chlorine. Okay, we know that loss of sodium as in diarrhea and profuse seating and certain endocrine disturbance chloride illicit is was observed in loss of gastric juice by vomiting or by duodenal obstruction. There is a loss of chloride ion with sodium leads to decrease the plasma chloride and it increase bicarbonate concentration resulting hypochloremic alcoholysis. Okay, these are the essential elements in our biological systems. Okay, the essential elements in biological systems topic is completed. Okay, students, hope you understood. This is about today's session. Okay, guys, thank you.